Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Isn't it an interesting concept how all of these politicians magically just get rich overnight? Isn't it an interesting concept that people making $170,000 a year working in Congress in a span of only a couple years become multi-millionaires after taxes? Isn't that quite interesting? You don't need to be a mathematician, a rocket scientist to figure out that $178,000 in 1 year over the span of 3 years doesn't equate to $3-4 million after taxes. You can be blind and deaf and still understand that it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense whatsoever, but at the same time, it makes total sense because people within the realm of politics don't work for you. Their job is not passing legislation to make your life better. Many of the times, their job is peddling power and influence. It's completely disgraceful. And the worst part about it, and probably one of the parts that's least talked about, are those around government officials who sometimes benefit even more. It's a whole lot easier to make people around you, those in your family and direct circle, rich than it is to get it to yourself directly. And we see that so many times with family members. In fact, we saw that exact notion play out during the 2020 election, pertaining to some sort of laptop. Now, just the other day, we covered Reverend Al Sharpton, who paid his daughter $80,000 through one of his activist groups. Well, a story just broke showing Maxine Waters, Maxine Waters, the Democrat from California, paid her daughter through her campaign $240,000, $250,000 within 1 year. The corruption is rampant. It's all over the place. And so the party that panders and plays the game of appealing to the destitute and those within a struggling financial situation happens to be the party of political elites siphoning cash from the teats of government, aka playing with taxpayer money like it's going out of style. And so we gotta get into this, friends. I got a whole lot of stories, not just Maxine, a whole lot of stuff we need to talk about, but before we get into any of it, please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm. Now with that out of the way, let's roll the tape. Alright, so here's the headliner piece. Report: Maxine Waters' campaign paid daughter $240,000. And this is from a very reputable source. In fact, it's from the Federal Elections Commission. Karen Waters received a total of about $240,000 from her 82-year-old mother's campaign during the election cycle. Federal Election Commission's records show this year's filing of the Federal Election Commission, FEC, suggests that Karen stepped back into her past role with the campaign. The newest data appears across two separate pages of the FEC website, a newly submitted listing of campaign payments called a post-general filing that includes more than $28,000 in payouts to Karen Waters, and an earlier submitted listing on a title page, Schedule B, itemized disbursements, that includes more than $212,000 in payments to the daughter. I guess it makes sense now how Maxine Waters is able to live in a home which Zillow estimates at $5.6 million in terms of value. Totally makes sense how someone who's been in politics for X amount of years has managed to become a multi-millionaire beyond the scope of what her salary could reach even after 30 years in office. It just doesn't make sense. Having a $5.6 million home would only be a part of your portfolio. Nobody's entire net worth is tied directly to their home alone. You'd imagine she's split up all over the place, and it just exceeds what you're supposed to be making as a government official. It's just beyond the scope, but it's also nothing new. I mean, somebody else who has a very similar track record, Representative Ilhan Omar, who has paid her husband's consultancy firm $2.8 million since the start of 2019, including $1.1 million from the squad members in the last 4 months. And once again, this is public information. It's not some sort of theory. There's records to confirm all of this stuff. And something quite surprising here, Ilhan Omar paid her husband's firm another $138,000 before cutting ties, the FEC files show. Once again, public information. Paying the firm $2.8 million, and then the moment it catches up to her, cut ties, give them another little $140K, once again on the taxpayer's dime, and move on to, I guess, something else. They're absolute hypocrites, and these are the people who are pushing for socialist reform. Talk about total hypocrisy. I'm sure you guys have seen this story right over here. Democratic Socialist AOC gets destroyed for selling $58 tax the rich t-shirts. AOC has said capitalism is irredeemable, but also has a merchandise shop that sells $25 Green New Deal onesies. And you think that's a joke? I'm on the website right now. $58 for a sweatshirt. $58. Talk about a total scam artist. Isn't it funny how these self-proclaimed social democrats, Marxists, communists are always running some sort of capitalist get-rich-quick scheme? Isn't that interesting? Brown Fabio, Cenk Uyghur's nephew, is probably the worst at that. A literal communist with communist symbolism pretty much everywhere, all over his marketing, while raking in millions. It's absolutely hilarious. It's a grift, it's a racket, and it's exactly what you'd expect. Now look, I don't mind. I want people to make money. I want people to do their thing. I want you to, in multiple years, become a millionaire, but you gotta do it properly, or you gotta not be an absolute hypocrite, and you sure as hell shouldn't be doing it on the taxpayer's dime. So many Democrats, and it's not just Democrats, just establishment politicians in general, are corrupt, and it's plain for the eye to see. But not only are they corrupt when it comes to policy and making money and financials, they're also morally corrupt. Speaking of total moral bankruptcy, Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti, who very recently said this:
"My message couldn't be simpler. It's time to hunker down. It's time to cancel everything."
And as he pushes that notion, as he's destroying people's business and livelihoods, he does stuff like this. Check out this video, which a bar owner in Los Angeles, California posted just the other day. It's absolutely disgusting.
So this is my place, the Pineapple Hill Grill and Saloon. If you go to my page, you can see all the work I did for outdoor dining, for tables being 7 feet apart. And I come in today because I'm organizing a protest, and I came in to get stuff for that. And I walk into my parking lot, and obviously Mayor Garcetti has approved this. Has approved this being set up for a movie company. I'm losing everything. Everything I own is being taken away from me. And they set up a movie company right next to my outdoor patio, which is right over here. And people wonder why I'm protesting and why I have had enough. They have not given us money, and they have shut us down. We cannot survive. My staff cannot survive. Look at this. Tell me that this is dangerous, but right next to me, as a slap in my face, that's safe. This is safe. 50 feet away. This is dangerous. Mayor Garcetti and Gavin Newsom is responsible for every single person that doesn't have unemployment, that does not have a job, and all the businesses that are going under. And we need your help. We need somebody to do something about this.
You can feel the emotion, you can feel the disgust, the disdain. No help for the middle class, hardworking people, but the movie industry, of course, which is the backbone of Hollywood in Los Angeles, gets to do whatever they want. Rules for thee and not for me. You can see that people are losing everything. They're not just saying that they're losing everything, they are losing everything. This is a tragedy beyond comprehension. People are unable to see it because everyone's cooped up in their own homes, but the devastation that's going to happen following some of these decisions that are being made by some of these leaders, even by federal governments, not only in America but across the Western world, is going to be devastating. And that's why people are starting to stand up. But speaking of people standing up and also just talking about Hollywood, at least some celebrities surprisingly are coming out and calling it as they see it. Rob Schneider. If you guys grew up in the 1990s like I did, then you know Rob Schneider, and he was absolutely hilarious. He has been going after Gavin Newsom all over his Twitter feed. Frankly, I didn't even know this guy was this base, but it's incredible. His Twitter feed is spot on. He's been slamming Gavin Newsom like crazy. Check out some of these tweets. I'm making a list of people who could care less about following Gavin Newsom's stay-at-home order. So far, I have Gavin Newsom. He's got this one right over here. Dear Emperor Gavin Newsom, during our allotted 3-family limit this Thanksgiving, if my aunt comes over, can I throw her a slice of turkey from the window? We promise not to sing. We will just whisper, please recall DS Gavin Newsom. He's got this one right over here. Hey Californians, you got this. Instead of being stuck at home with Governor Newsom's stay-at-home order, just dress up like a homeless person and you're free to go or piss wherever you like. A little bit spicy. spicy, but he's also not wrong. It's either that, or just wear a BLM t-shirt, or go full black-clad Antifa goon, and you can do whatever you want without repercussion, with total impunity, because you're representing a specific political side. It's a complete joke. And so the moral corruptness, the moral bankruptcy, and the financial corruptness of the political elite is once again on full display, friends. It's here for everyone to see. You just gotta open your eyes and look past what the media is showing you. And of course, that's what we do on this channel. I'm gonna keep giving you guys everything that the media refuses to show you, and we will keep exposing the phony and corrupt nature of these Washington coastal political elite. And I will keep doing it, like I've said a ton of times in the past, till I'm 6 feet under. That's what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you did, please make sure to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, share the video as much as possible. We are still shadow banned by the YouTube algorithm. Now I'm gonna get back to work. I wanna thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.